was always interested in the less known, lesser obvious factors that influence our behavior. I also always had a wish to write a more popular book that will reach a wider audience, not just psychologists. After all, not only psychologists are interested in what influences our life. So 3 years ago, I wrote this book, Sensation, which brings recent studies that show how our physical sensations, the taste, the colors, the smells, the texture of the blanket, the lights, how all these influence our judgments, behavior, and decisions without our awareness. In the brief time that I have, I will reveal you some of these studies that show this surprisingly and amazing influence. Let's start with moral judgments and moral development. What determines our moral judgments? Why is it that the same act is judged by one person as a very severe moral transgression that deserves to be punished, while another person would take it more lightly, it's not that bad? Of course, needless to say, that our upbringing, our education, our values, our personality, all these influence our moral judgment. But would you believe that also the smell of the room or the drink you just drank influence our moral judgments? Well, in several studies, they asked this question. They presented the subjects with various moral transgressions like bribery, shoplifting, stealing books from the library, and asked them to judge how immoral each act was. In the first study, half of the subjects sat in a room with a very bad smell. The other half sat in a room with no smell. In the second study, there were 3 groups that just before answering this question about the moral transgressions, one group drank a very, very disgusting bitter drink, the other group drank a sweet drink, and the third one drank a neutral drink. The results showed that those that were disgusted physically by the smell or by the drink judged the same act more harshly. In other words, the same identical act was judged as more severely wrong, that deserved more punishment, if the people were physically disgusted. So we have to ask ourselves next time we're in court, what did the judge drink or eat just before entering the room? Or what was the room, the courtroom, what was the smell there? But let's continue with morality. We use terms like physical cleaning when we talk about morality. We use the metaphors clean conscience, dirty hands, filthy mouth. Studies show that this association between physical cleaning and morality is not just a figure of speech. It's not just metaphors, it's more than that. For example, studies showed that people who were thinking about unethical acts from their past felt a greater need to clean themselves than people who were thinking about something ethical from their past. But I want to be more specific than that. We use different parts of our bodies when we are involved in an immoral act. People use their mouths when they cheat or when they swear. They use their hands when they steal. They use their legs when they run, when they should stay. And sometimes Hollywood producers use other parts to be involved in unethical, but I'm not going to talk about that. So in one study, subjects were told to imagine that they are working in a law firm and they are competing with another colleague. That other colleague lost a very important document and he's really looking for it because it's very important for his career. And they were told that they found that document, but they should deliver the message, the lie, that they didn't find it. Half of the subjects were told to deliver this message via email, therefore using their fingers. The other half were told to deliver this lie via voicemail, therefore using their mouth. They were then, in a supposedly different study, were shown a list of products and were asked to evaluate each product, how desirable this product was and how much money they would like to spend on that product. What interests the subject were two products, mouthwash and hand sanitizer. The results are almost hard to believe. Those who delivered the lie via email and therefore used their hands perceived the hand sanitizer as more valuable than the mouthwash. Those who delivered the message via their mouths, because they used the voicemail, thought that the mouthwash was more desirable. So, like we want to wash our hands after we did, if they are dirty, we want to wash the specific part of our body.